Welcome back, fellow Inquisitors. This is us resuming Richard's tale, and for where we left off, we just saved the Empress of Orlais from an assassin plot that apparently got very Orlesian. I'll leave it at that. Got ourselves a new advisor who's hanging in our garden, and named Morrigan, and also been referred to as the Witch of the Wilds. But that's enough about that. I'm gonna sort of say one thing. I sort of just recorded about 20 minutes starting from this point already, guys, so I know a little of what I'm gonna do, and I accidentally learned something that I have to deal with. Remember earlier, uh, lady, sorry. Basically, earlier we had someone come over here trying to convince either Leliana or Cassandra to become the new divine. I sort of end up looking into this because I'm a little of a perfectionist at times, and I just want to know what the ideologies were before I dealt with them. And honestly, I've looked into this, and my personal preference here would be Cassandra, then Liliana, and then the third option was Josephine. I'm going to explain all this right now because I just have to explain my point of view so no one can just complain about it later. Basically, they have three different points of view. I'm going to simplify it to the best that I understand. If I'm wrong, but this is my best. First off, I'll start with Josephine. Josephine just wants to retain the status quo. She wants to return things to how they were before all the craziness started. That is a valid point, but honestly, it doesn't work. I personally believe that mages do deserve more freedom, and the way things were done is just a spiral of stupidity. Basically, I understand she probably doesn't think of it that way, but she was raised in the circle, and honestly, not much thinking in regards to that, I think. Next up, Leliana. Leliana's point of view is, basically, she believes in mage freedom, to a little bit of a bad degree. She wants complete reform of the chantry to the degree where mages are completely free. Which, I understand, as a mage, I see how that's a smart idea, but at the same time, there is a reason why Tevinter is a little bit blood magic-y, you know? It's like, her option, I see, is a good for the mages, but at the same time, I can imagine the chaos that could be born from that. It's too drastic, is my stance, I guess would be the best way to put it. Out of everyone, she would be my second choice, just because it's still in my opinion, it could go better than that, but in a way what she wants is anarchy. Well, last but not least, Cassandra, who's over there, wants a reform, because people from other races aren't exactly welcome in the Chantry, is something she points out. Which, honestly, is bull. If you're a dwarf or an elf or a Quinari that wants to believe in the Maker, what's wrong with that? She wants to also make it so mages have more freedom. They govern themselves, and the Templars are more sought as an ally. And the Templars themselves are no longer policing mages, they are just, well, voice break. They're no longer policing the mages, they are actually becoming more of a police force to protect the people, not just capture the mages. So that's my explanation for it. I like her belief the best. In the meantime, let's go see Cullen.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentagast.
Okay. Let's see, dear Mia, I'm still alive, your brother Cullen. Okay, I've leveled, I'll deal with that later. In the meantime, we gotta go see Cassandra / Cullen. Because I officially decided, since, as I previously stated, I want Cassandra to be the new divine. The main reason I was hesitant to do this, but I accidentally learned from my friend who's gone through this, is you'll keep them throughout the entire game, you don't have to worry.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
I think he's brave.
Yes, and I respect his decision.
As do I. Not that he's willing to listen. Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he tell me?
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Can we change his mind somehow? I'd rather not lose someone I honestly enjoy his company of, as well as the fact he's intelligent. I don't want to have to get a replacement that's an idiot.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
I better speak with him now. I have a feeling I think the withdrawal symptoms have to be getting pretty bad. And let me just deal with this level up right now because it's starting to irritate me. I already know what I want. Out of all of these options, I thought about getting Resurgence. I did. But then I thought, nah, I'm gonna get Veiled Riptos because whenever I have a barrier active and people who attack me, they'll get damaged in return, which keeps up the damage. That'll make Fade Shield. Well, so these two work together pretty good. At least that's how I think it works. And this, honestly, it's a really pathetic ability. Like, it could be useful, but it's not that good. So next up, let's go speak with Cullen. I'm just hoping he doesn't bite my head off. I am really against that kind of action. Oh wait. I thought that was Cullen's door. This one is Cullen's door.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
Talk to me. Actually, at least you missed.
So long as you weren't aiming at me, I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... I never meant for this to interfere.
Are you okay?
Are you going to be all right?
Yes. I don't know. Did you know Ferelden's circle was taken over by abominations? I was there. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall's circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
I understand.
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
You don't need it. You don't need the lyrium, Cullen. You just gotta break its hold on you, and you'll be you'll be a better man for it.
You give enough, Cullen. I'm not asking you for more. The Inquisition can be your chance to start over. If you want it to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is.
All right.
I really do believe it would be better for Cullen. He is one of my greatest allies I have here, and I agree, lyrium, it is necessary to deal with mages, but at the same time, Cullen's no longer on the front lines as much. He doesn't need it. And now, time to begin my support for the new Divine.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Having fun?
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was hilarious. That's what they'll say one day, you watch. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Is that even possible?
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Honestly, you'd be perfect for the job.
I think you'd make an excellent Divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats.
We'll find a good one.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
You really feel that way?
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
So do better.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian?
What?
Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
And what of Leliana?
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
And how would you change it?
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
Now you see why I like this choice. I can help you become the new Divine.
I have influence, and I can use it to help the Chantry make up its mind.
I cannot ask you to do that.
You don't have to.
If you think that is the right thing to do, then thank you. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
True, but I'm still gonna have you become the new divine. Let's see, who to speak to next?
Still waiting for your letter of marque or
I sort of want to speak with Leliana or Josephine a bit, but at the same time, first I want to speak with Varric. Hello?
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Honestly, I'm more interested in that. So, never mind.
Carry on.
I'm sorry, that just caught me off guard what he was
Your
talking
worship.
about. Now then, I actually want to speak with Morrigan now. As soon as I find where she's hiding. There. Hello.
wandering the gardens, I see.
What are you working on?
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what draws my attention. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade, in fact, came from the orb. Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
Okay. Would you fight alongside me?
I could use your company for my excursions outside Skyhold.
I have spent my share of time wandering the wilderness in the company of others, Inquisitor. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to researching the arcane.
Unfortunate. What about his dragon?
Do you know anything about his dragon?
It has the appearance of an archdemon. Of that, I am certain. A true archdemon, however, is supposedly the corrupted form of an old god. Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? If so, why has a new blight not begun? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted nature as well as his magic. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Could he actually become a god?
Is it even possible that Corypheus could succeed?
The Black City exists. Wherever one goes in the Fade, it is visible in the sky. The last time Corypheus and his cohort stormed its doors, they unleashed the Blight upon the world. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power, becoming something unto a god. It is also possible he could unleash something far worse than the Blights. So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal. If not, his attempt alone could destroy the world.
He thinks I'm a rival.
Corypheus says I'm a rival. Does that mean...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
Honestly, I don't know how.
I wouldn't know how, if that's even possible.
Perhaps Corypheus fears the moment when you learn.
Well, I appreciate your efforts, Morgan. Thank you very much.
However you can help, it's appreciated.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet learn from it.
Okay. Let's see. Thoughts on the Inquisition?
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. Leliana has built a network of spies beyond anything Thedas has seen. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
First, we have to kick his ass.
We have to defeat him first, then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
That's good to know. Okay, now, tell me more about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah yes, whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kakari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
You were in the Fifth Blight?
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kakari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
Okay, so you're an apostate.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
Okay, but why the Orlesian court of all of them?
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
Oh, okay then. Goodbye.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
Now then, time to speak with... Actually, it's a tough choice. Who to speak with next? Let's go speak with Josephine. Hello.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was en masse, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
At least they weren't bored.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royale, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
Celine knew.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Let's see. I don't know what the hell that symbol means, but I'm gonna go with this option. Our dance was the highlight.
My favorite moment of the evening is still our waltz in the garden.
I could have danced with you for hours. We must do it again sometime.
Okay.
Yes?
I have to ask, how are you always so polite?
How do you stay so civil with everyone, Josephine?
Bonds of circumstance among the nobility are fickle. Civility is the only constant everyone admires. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know better.
But doesn't it ever get tiresome?
Does it even become a strain sometimes?
Well, it can be trying. There is no shortage of self-regard among the nobility. The game can be wearying, discouraging, and extremely baneful. But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating friends.
I liked meeting all of you as well.
One good thing about becoming Inquisitor has been meeting so many different people.
I'm pleased. I imagine we appear a strange bunch to those outside our circle. Mages, Templars, Seekers, and an apostate elf are not often found working in harmony. Or at all.
Valid point.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Now I'm gonna quickly head to my table and see how things are going. I'm gonna take care of the war table mission to support her, because that is my decision. No ifs, ands, or buts. I also want to see if anything's been completed on this thing already. I love all the oh, the Inquisition's improved. What do I want? The glass might have been good. Let's see. Favor for favor. Rare stock, maybe. Let's see. Secrets. Optimal cutting. Nah. Number research minus study. Forward scouts. Increases, nah. Gain a collection of tier 1 herbs I don't need. And here, let's see. Don't need that. Okay, advanced focus is really on my list. Harsh environment training can be dangerous. Hardened. Mage schematics. Okay, I might get some of those, but at the moment, I think it'd be best for me to get advanced focus. If I can get advanced focus abilities working, that'll make life easier. Whoa. A lot of stuff. Let's see. Trouble the Red Jennies. I'll look into that later.
I should inspect the condition of the trebuchets.
Let's see.
They must be calibrated to reach the proper range.
Again?
That's my choice.
How many times will you be doing that?
Let's see. I have to look into some of this. Let's see. This is something only you can do. Let's see. Dear Ambassador, Marquise Bellis would convey our fondest wishes to the Inquisitor and the Inquisition. Let's see. Much of the time present, dear Marquesa, however, found a suitable means of showing our appreciation. Her friends found evidence of Venator plotting against the Navarian nobleman, Count Octavian. They intend to send an ambush. See, on the warning the Count private. You know what? I'll do this.
Let us begin.
I'm gonna try to do ones that are literally restricted to one of my counselors only. That makes things easier. Truth or dare, the end game. Honestly, I'd like to be able to shoot. That's not restricted enough. Alliances, getting things moving. I'm just trying to find something that's only those two only one of those two could do. Dwarven staves in Venatori hands. A lot of crazy ones. Judgments, Morven's arrival. I'll work on that one definitely later. College of Magi. A lot of interesting things. Negotiate a deal for weapon plans. Cullen's the only one who can't do anything. See anything going on in Ferelden at least. Preparations for Redcliffe. Let's see. The Inquisitor is soon assigned for the Major Rebellion, and the Arling holds you accountable for losses suffered. Let's see. A freehold in Rainsfield was burned down. The farms outside Redcliffe Village with crop loss. 5 people in Redcliffe. Let's see. Or... honestly, it's a tough choice whether I should just pay them or just repair everything. Hard and Hightown Trouble in Skyhold. Perfect. Copies of Hard and Hightown Theory published. Nightingale found several similarities to events in Varric's book, but all are slightly off. Dead magistrate was not in his home. Man found murdered in a locked room was a comet, not a magistrate. Execution did not send a warning note directly to Donnan. Obviously, after the plot is Sword of Harrison, not a Penny Dreadful author. Close look at the FF book shows numerous grammatical and spelling errors that seemed random at first, but ciphers believe it might be code information. Let's see. I sort of think it'd be more intelligent to use the cipher. I know that might be stupid, but something's just telling me to. This looks like something I have a feeling only one of those two could do. Red Jenny and the Taravel Charade. Let's see. I'll look into that later, but at least I did a few things. Waiting. Influence is definitely spreading pretty good. I think later I'll go on my throne to deal with whoever I have to, well, deal with. But in the meantime, let's go visit some of my friends. I already tried to speak with Varric, nothing new. Hello, Solus.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations. Machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shirao, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You've seen this before?
You miss court intrigue? When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage, sometimes noble, and always fascinating. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally. And Brialla as well, thanks to your efforts on her behalf.
I hope it helps the elves.
I hope Brialla is able to use her position to help your people.
How would helping Brialla help... Oh, you mean elves? I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
I guess that's sort of true.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Brialla is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
I agree.
She's done good work. Hopefully, with our help, she can help them even more.
Yes. However much I identify, or fail to identify, with her people, Brialla's efforts have been remarkable. She organized resistance against a powerful enemy, using only her wits and the resources at hand. That demands respect, especially in a world where most would look at her and only see a pair of pointed ears.
I do love speaking with Solus. I never actually thought of it that way, so he's definitely taught me a little more. Or about the whole not being racist even if you don't intend it, and... Dorian?
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. Saving the day, reconciling lovers, mediating a civil war. So sugary, it's nauseating. All this dancing, politics, and murder... makes me a bit homesick.
Happy I could help.
Happy to oblige. A taste of home just for you.
Not just for me. Fun for the whole family.
Perhaps I should have invited some.
We were there. That's what counts. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
Okay.
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
I'll do my best. Hello.
It doesn't surprise me you found the Wardens mixed up in all this. From first-hand experience, you should be wary any time my old order is involved.
Okay. Good to know.
Another time then.
Let's see if I have any research to turn in. Nope. Now then, let's go speak with Liliana, and then I have to figure out who I'm speaking to next. Oh, it's a little bit of a shrine here.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
But what do you want?
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
You could abandon ship.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship, and straight into the sea. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
The Chantry sort of preached hate, if you think about it.
It was the Chantry that taught people hate and fear.
If the Chantry led them to this place, it can lead them out of it. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Valid point.
I'm listening.
Okay, that's just a weird first person in view.
I'll leave you to your work.
If they ever get end mods going for this, I think we just found our first one. I think I was a little bit too direct, though, with how I was... Whoa. Okay, I'm God. That's the only way to explain how I fell from that high and not a scratch on me. I might have handled Liliana not too well, but I really just think that Cassandra will do a better job.
From Avon's fire come we, the able troop, to Skyhold.
Hey, Ball.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
Let's see. You have a point.
I hate politics.
You've got a crappy job then, boss.
True.
Pleasure as always, boss.
Okay. It is true, though. Politics is probably the crappiest job anyone could ever get. You do your best to make the people happy, and that someone in will still hate you. Her... Okay, this is a first. Never seen her door closed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One for the Empress. For Gaspar. Briala. The Duchess. And Corypheus. Right in the dangle bag.
Remind me to not get you mad.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a book for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
Earwigs, that's stoppable.
I don't know. You want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an Empress. We patched their spat, Briala and the Selene, but without their breakup, none of it would have happened like that.
Their mistakes made things shittier.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
Valid point. Definitely, though, not gonna get out of your bad side anytime soon.
Your wish is something, something.
I'm just gonna carry on.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
One last person I always like to speak with is Call, just because it's freaking fun to speak with them. Later gotta figure out one of those things.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
I agree.
And that would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
True. Goodbye.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
Let me just jump off. That's just fun to do. Let's see. Cassandra? You have anything else you want to say to me? Apparently so.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make things better.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
They're admirable goals.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You admire me?
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
To be honest, I obey my conscience. These are honestly choices I believe are as right as I can go most of the time.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
I hope we're friends.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Now then, let's add an extra few minutes to that. And let's start up with a few more friends. I want to see if we can go somewhere next. Let's see, check my map. Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's see, Morgan, Josephine, Varric. Vivian I'm going to speak with last, or maybe next. Colin I'll to speak to later. Now we should go to Blackwell. Let's just quickly travel. Well, I save myself about 20 seconds, give or take. Hello.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Okay.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a
Nothing.
bit.
Hang done, okay. I keep pressing that when I mean to do that. Now, let's go here. Let's speak with Josephine, and then I'm feeling next time I will select I'll probably do a bunch of the table requests off camera, is my plan. Then I'll show you all the results. Well, it's mainly because it just takes forever to go through that sometimes.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
Okay. Tell me about the formula before anything else.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You won't tell me?
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but won't tell me what it's for?
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would do no less for you, after all.
I hate when you're right. Tell me about the wyvern I have to murder.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
Okay, now I'm insulted. I am superior to that monster. But why do you want my help? Can't you just get another group of Chevalier?
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
Why not?
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Okay then. Let me just get in front of the over here and prepare myself for next time. Now then. This just feels right. Because the other throne designs just don't appeal to me. I guess would be the main reason. In the meantime though, it's time to do some more. Actually, wait a second. Let me check my journal really quick, I'm sorry. Okay, Western approach. Assault on that. We have a lot of stuff to do. Sit in judgment. Better core. I definitely have to find those logging stands. I have to go to the Hissing Wastes later. The hinterlands should go onto that later. But it's not too much really I need to do. Forbidden Oasis I have a lot of is more for this stuff. So I'll work on that later. The Crestwood. Overall I think I'm good there. So the next place I'll probably go will either be, will actually most likely be the Storm Coast, the Western, or the Western Approach if I have a choice. Because I'm wondering if I can finally deal with the Darkspawn on also the Red Lyrium I remember seeing there. Either that or I'll go the Western Approach again and deal some crazy stuff there. Or maybe I'll hunt another dragon. Those are my options, and I still have to judge a man. We'll see how things go.